This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This guy actually sent me about like $2,000 and I hadn't even met him.
Wait. What?
Yeah, so I was on Seeking and this guy had reached out to me and he said, hey, I would just like to send you something just to make sure that you know I'm real and This is what I want. And I gave him my real number. So we were texting and I thought that he was going to be sending it over Apple Pay for some reason. And apparently he plugged my number into Zelle and sent it to me. So when he said that he sent it, I was like, I don't see it. So then he sent me another $1,000. And so he's like, I sent it to Zelle. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay.
So he sent you $2,000?
He sent me $2,000.
Welcome to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, the number one sugar dating podcast in the world, where we pull back the curtains on the good and the bad and the shocking stories of sugar dating. I put an extra shocking in there today because I'm really excited. We've got Nikki back, going to help me a little bit with some co-hosting. How are you?
I'm great.
Glad to see you.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about, I think you had a meet and greet since we last talked. And we're going
to meet and greet gone bad.
We're going to explore that. And then I've got Taylor in the house, and we're going to bring her in a few minutes. She actually did a couple episodes early on in the beginning of the podcast, but she has an episode 32 that I used to recommend, and I still do. Any new people that want to know about sugar dating, it's kind of a great question and answer. And we had a lot of fun with that one. Angie was here, and it's we had such a good time, and it's one of my favorite episodes, and she was a part of it. So we're going to get caught up with Taylor in a minute. But if you guys haven't heard, you've been not listening to the show. Sugarpalooza 7 is November 14th through 16th. It's right around the corner. Nikki, you're coming.
Yes.
Taylor's coming.
Excited.
I will be there.
Yes. And it's going to, all the details are coming together. I've got the Airbnbs booked for all of the women guests. They're nice. They're in Central Phoenix area. They're really close to Jay's new multi-million-dollar brand new home that we're going to hold the mixer in. And also, I think the pre-party where a bus is going to pick us up, take us down to, okay, the arena just changed names again. So the new name of the arena, just FYI, is Mortgage Matchup Center. I mean, I can remember way back when it was called America West Arena, and then it's changed names, and then it was Footprint Center, and then Phoenix Arena. But anyway, officially, we're going down to Mortgage Matchup Center. It's where the Suns play. It's where they hold a lot of concerts in downtown Phoenix. A great venue. We've got 2 private suites there. 50 tickets. I'm giving away 30 Sugar Baby packages. Application is live. It's on our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com. Just press the party tab. All the information is there. All you have to do is make your way to Phoenix, okay? Everything else is included, and you will have the time of your life. A weekend you will never forget. I can promise you that. Now, if you're a member of our Patreon group, you're definitely going to get priority judging on that. We'd love to have you part of our family. It's free to join. We have a free option, so it costs you nothing. But we'd sure love for you to support the show and join one of the tiers. They start at $10 a month and go up from there. We got some coaching and profile reviews. And basically, the bottom tier unlocks the entire site. You get community chat, all the behind-the-scenes photos and videos, and you see things that we do not post anywhere else. We don't post on Instagram, anywhere. It's all exclusive things that we post on there. You get to hear all the shows before anybody else. So there's a lot of cool benefits. Now, FYI, due to inflation, the prices are going up January 1st, 2026. But if you lock in your tier on our Patreon, if you're locked in now, I can't change it. So you'll be there until you're not. And we really do appreciate that. So join us today at patreon.com/secrets of a sugar daddy podcast. All right, let's get to our show. I'm really excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. Nikki, tell me a little bit about this meet and greet that went wrong this week.
Yeah, and I probably should have not even let it happen.
You just bored or what?
I actually was really bored. It was somebody else who came in from California. Last week I talked about somebody from California that I went out there.
So wait, did this guy come in just for the meet and greet, or he was just in town for business?
No, he came in for the meet and greet.
Wow.
But it took him forever. He contacted me on the site 3 months ago. So he's a procrastinator. And I had told him after several months, we're either going to do this or not. So make up your mind. So he did come in, but I think he's more of either a Splenda or an Air, as Desiree calls them, because he drove in from California. So he drove 8 hours.
Wow.
Round trip, and stayed in probably a subpar hotel. So that was kind of a hint right there.
How old was he?
67.
Okay.
Do you know what his occupation was?
He's retired, but he was a retired public defender, and then he wrote a book and some ad hoc things. We met on Saturday. He scheduled everything, and it was kind of a long day. I told him I would give him some extra time since he drove in and made the trip. So we had planned to spend Saturday together, and he booked a couple restaurants at the Biltmore. One of them I had always wanted to go to, Renata's.
Oh, nice.
It was very nice. But I was really disappointed. He showed up really sloppy looking.
I mean, the Biltmore's a nice place.
I know. So I dressed up. He came in sloppy. He did a lot of ranting about family drama. Then he got into politics, like big no-nos.
Boy, this guy's breaking every rule in the book.
Yeah, he is.
What the hell?
And I probably should have ended it after the first meal. Instead, we kept it going. I kind of like to give people a chance and just observe their behavior. I want to make sure when I make a decision, it's the right decision. I kind of let it go. We just did a lot of nothing. It was a lot of talking, not enough activity. I'm not used to being sedentary all day long. We walked out and sat by the pool and got eaten alive by mosquitoes. We just I didn't like his personality. We weren't aligned what we wanted. He seemed right from the start like he wanted traditional relationship. That's what it seemed like, even though he kept saying he's been in this lifestyle for a while. But he's one of that I mentioned last week where they say they've been in, quote, arrangements, but the arrangements are more like a traditional relationship. Then over time, he starts helping with bills. To me, that's not.
Did you talk to him on the phone before he came out?
We had a couple of lengthy calls.
Lengthy?
Yep. And then I stopped because he wasn't coming out and I didn't want to put any more time into it until I saw him.
Have you thought about video chatting?
He wouldn't.
He wouldn't do it?
Nope.
I would take that as a red flag.
And I told him if I were going out to see him, like I did the other guy in California, there would have to be a video chat. But he was coming here, so I didn't feel like I was taking much of a risk as far as safety goes. He did look like his pictures. That part was fine. It's just the personality and everything else that happened. And so he made me an offer for an arrangement at that time, but I turned him down.
What was the offer?
He called himself the Gap guy and said he could fill in the gaps for me.
Oh, I haven't heard that before.
And I said, well, I'm not looking for a Gap guy. If I have extra time, it's going to be spent on myself. He said, yeah, I could probably come in once or twice a month. There was no talk of him bringing me out there or flying me out there. He would be driving here every time. And he said, but you'll have some additional experiences with me. So I thought he meant travel, or he meant ayahuasca experiences.
Oh.
I said, there's people here that I can have those experiences with. Right. I don't need to import someone from California to do that. So I just turned him down, and it was just, I was exhausted by the end of the day. It was too much like a job that day.
How did it end?
I took an Uber home to my house. He took his car back to his low-end hotel, and then the next day he drove back to California.
What was his low-end hotel? I'm curious.
Well, he stayed near the Desert Ridge, and so I assumed the Marriott by the Desert Ridge.
There's some nice hotels up in that area.
But he was in a Holiday Inn Express.
Oh. Well, I'm not going to dog the guy too much about that.
Would you drive 8 hours though, round trip for a meet and greet?
No, I wouldn't drive 8 hours. There's too many options here locally. And I'm wondering why he's not finding anything local there.
Well, now that I've met him, I know why.
No, you know why. He's having to expand his area. All right. Well,
I would definitely
that was
recommend people to start doing a FaceTime, whether it's on Instagram, do a Snapchat, FaceTime call. Recently, there was a guy that had reached out to me. He had been asking me for months and months.
Oh, and welcome Taylor, by the way.
Hello.
Hi, Taylor.
So he had been reaching out to me for the past couple months, and I was always very nervous to meet up with him. He seemed a little pushy, but we did a FaceTime call because he asked, am I a real person? So I told him like, hey, I'll happy to FaceTime you. And once as we did, we had a very quick phone call, maybe only 4 or 5 minutes. But we were able to chat really nicely. Conversation went smooth. There was no awkwardness. I was able to get a feel of his vibe. I was able to see a lot. Usually now when I'm texting with somebody, if the conversations are kind of like there's no spark, really no interest, I really don't pursue it. But I really did enjoy the quick little FaceTime just to see how we interact. And
Yeah. All right. Well, back to the Holiday Inn Express. I've stayed at fairly cheap motels or hotels before when I've been traveling. Like when I travel, like if I go to Austin, I'm going to Austin this weekend. I'm not looking for anything fancy. I'm not looking to blow a large amount on a hotel. I might actually see somebody while I'm out there. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not getting a Motel 6.
And if you were planning to bring someone to the hotel,
see, I don't know.
would you
I
have
don't know.
upgraded? Because he
yeah.
wanted me to come with him to the hotel. He wanted to extend his visit.
I mean, at least get like a Drury Inn, something. There's some others that are nice. And you said something about him being a procrastinator.
Yeah, because it took him forever to schedule this until finally I said, we're either going to do this or not. He was one of the ones also that didn't stay anonymous. So as soon as he gave me his phone number, I plugged it in and pulled up everything on him. So that's another reason I felt safe enough to be with him in public.
Well, I know about that procrastination stuff. I've had a lot of people say I'll never amount to anything because of my procrastination, but just you wait. Anyway, let's move on. Taylor,
yes.
welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm very excited to be here.
Let me give you a little bit of background on Taylor. I met Taylor in 2021, I think, like right at the end. And then you started working for me, I think it was in January or was it in December 2021? Right at the first of the year, you were with me about 3 months, helped me with a lot of things, helped me with a couple of shows. You drove a tractor and cleared my backyard.
Wow.
So I was putting in a pool, and the pool company said, well, you've got to scrape that backyard. We need basically a blank slate to come in and design your pool and the landscaping and everything. So we rented a trailer. Taylor's like, I want to do it. I got video of her scraping the backyard on a tractor.
Taylor, had you ever done that before?
I had never driven a tractor before.
She's adventurous, I tell you.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
Yeah. So she helped me pick out the pool company and design the pool and everything. And then we kind of parted ways and she went a different direction. We've reconnected and now and she's come to a few parties. What do you think of the pool?
I love the pool.
Did it come out like
it came
you?
out very beautiful.
Just like you designed it. So the pool at my house was her design, just to let you know. For all you guys that have been in my house for a few parties, there you go.
That's my work.
Yeah. So Taylor has been on and off seeking for quite a while. Even though we never did an arrangement, she was doing her real estate classes. I was in real estate. I'm doing a lot of real estate stuff. So that's why I hired her. And she, don't tell the board this, but she actually did my continuing education for me, which I really appreciated.
So Taylor, that's your line of work, real estate?
Kinda.
Kind of. I started an OnlyFans recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to get into all that too. So Taylor has been kind of bouncing around. She got into a relationship, but let's talk about that. So actually, let's talk about, and we're going to take it all the way back to 2022. Oh, also, we'll just kind of lay it out here. Part of the reason we got sideways a little bit, she actually helped me plan Sugarpalooza 1, the Dua Lipa concert. We did that in like 3 days. Remember?
Yeah, that was pretty quick.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Daddy. Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
So Dua Lipa was coming into town 2022 in March. And it was coming up my birthday, and I said, and I think I called or messaged the suite manager at the arena at the time, it was Footprint Center at the time. And he was like, yeah, we just released one other suite, and it costs this much, and you get 22 tickets. And so I jumped on it, and then we started inviting people and coordinating everything. And then something happened. Taylor, I gave her a ticket. She wasn't able to come. I got mad. She got mad. We parted ways. And it just kind of like, and it was really sad because I liked her a lot and she was a big part of the company. And so we kind of parted ways. But you had also gotten into a relationship.
I did.
With the guy that, now he was on Seeking, but you met him through Angie, I
Yes,
believe.
correct. So I met him through somebody from the podcast.
You guys were doing like a little threesome with him, right?
Correct. It was supposed to be a threesome. He ended up having sex with me all night.
What was that?
He ended up having sex with me all night.
Yeah. So, Nikki, how would you feel like if you knew this guy and you'd had sex with him before and he wanted to spice things up, so you bring this little hottie and then all of a sudden he's more into the hottie and he's leaving you alone?
Yeah, I would feel really rejected.
Yeah, so that's kind of what happened, right?
It was, but when he was seeing Angie, they didn't see each other very often. It was kind of once in a while thing, and he really kind of fell for me that night. So,
How did Angie feel about it? Did you and her ever talk about it afterwards?
yes. So I had told her, Kay asked for my number that night. She was totally go for it. I'm excited for you. She reached out to him like, hey, I would still love to see you here and there. But he wasn't wanting her to know too much about he didn't want her to feel bad. So he kind of cut the communication quite a bit with her. But him and I, we were really close. I was over there all the time. We were pretty much like dating. I remember we went out one time it was his nephew. He was older. But we were out it was pretty much like almost like about dinner. And the waitress had asked, are you going to marry her?
What?
But this guy, he wasn't always, he was great as in the experience and the sex life. Probably the best sex that I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really hot.
So back up a minute to the waitress.
Yes.
Was the chemistry between you and him that much that
Right.
the waitress could even sense it?
Yes. We
Oh,
were.
that's amazing.
Yeah. I really, really liked him. Even so, at the last party, Angie and I were talking, and she says, even now, anytime that she goes over to see him, he and her, they talk about me all the time.
So
Now-
she is still in touch with him.
I don't know how often, but they do.
Okay.
Now, he was super wealthy too, right?
Very, very wealthy. One of the deals that he had told me about that he did, I think it was his biggest deal. It landed him like $80 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, how did he compensate you? Were you like on an allowance, or you just kind of just threw money at you here and there?
He just threw money at me. We never, ever talked about allowance, but anytime I went over, he would give me $600, $800, $1,200, $2,400. It was always
But
random.
you never knew what you were getting.
I never knew, and it was fine. It was always plenty of money.
Yeah.
But I liked him a ton. So it was great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Interesting. So what happened?
So he wasn't always the nicest. He did a ton of drugs and drank every day. He would get very snappy and just mean. And as much as I liked him, I wasn't really feeling that. So we got into an argument, we broke up, and that was it.
How long did you guys date?
It was several months. I don't really remember the timeline. It was less than 6 months, maybe about like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And you were living with him or no?
No, not living with him, but I was there like all the time.
So then what happened? Where'd you go after that?
Like they start.
Like now you're single again.
Oh yes, now I'm single again. I did start recently. Well, my previous relationship. I also met him on the site. That was great.
So you met a guy from New York.
Yes.
So tell us, did he contact you in Arizona?
So he was out in New York. He sets his location to different places all over the U.S. and all over the world. So he contacted me, and immediately there was sparks. We FaceTime, we talked, and it turned into a relationship very, very quickly.
And how old was he?
He is now 38. He was 37 when I met him.
So he's on the younger side of a sugar daddy.
Yes.
And how old are you?
I am now 27.
Okay.
Yeah. But he was really hot. He was really, really cute.
So the two of you hit it off.
We did.
Right away.
I almost moved out to New York.
And why didn't you?
There was a lot in the relationship that we had to figure out. We had discussed very early on that we did not want to be monogamous for the rest of our life. We didn't want to just solely be with each other forever. Even though we had discussed that, he wasn't very honest about what he was doing on his end, or I didn't feel like there was honesty. I always felt there was something going on, that there was always tension whenever I'd walk in the room sometimes. And it was just more that he didn't want me being like jealous or anything like that. After we broke up, we were talking and he said, "You don't know what you want." That girls are usually better when they don't know, what you don't know won't hurt you. So,
wow.
But honestly, I'm actually kind of feeling like that now, that maybe it's better if I didn't know.
But the two of you had agreed to not be monogamous.
Correct, yes.
And he was not being monogamous, but he didn't want to tell you, even though you had agreed to that.
Correct, yes.
He just felt that if you did know about it, it would upset you.
Right. So even though I knew he would be talking to girls, he would always tell me, "No, I haven't found nobody. I haven't found anybody. I need to find the right person." But the entire relationship, he never told me about anybody that he had been with.
And were you seeing other people?
I was seeing people, but not the amount that, and we could actually get into that, not the amount that he says he wanted. So one thing is, back when I was working with Marcus back in 2021, 2022, we met a couple. I don't know if they ended up being on the podcast, but they were into hot wifing.
Is it the house that we went to the party?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Ori or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was actually very into that, and I wanted that as well. I ended up discovering during that relationship, he really wanted me to be with other people. That he said that was the thing that turned him on. And even though I could feel jealousy sometimes if I would be talking to somebody, he says that's what he wanted. And there was points where I felt like it wasn't ever enough for him. Like that's the main sole thing that he wanted. And for me, because I was so attracted to this man and we were talking about marriage and all these different things, it was very upsetting, or I was like, "Why don't you want to touch me? What is going on?"
So he was turned on knowing that you were with other people, and he wanted you to do that more and more.
Correct, yes.
See, I think that's a form of cuckolding.
It is, yes.
And I'm seeing that more and more with some of the men that I'm meeting also. And they really are turned on by that. But then, yeah, in like your situation, you really wanted to be mainly just with him.
Yes, I did want him to be my sole partner. I didn't want to mainly be with other people and have him at home as like a side piece type thing. I really, really wanted to be with him, and on my free time, if I wanted, to kind of spice things up, sure, I'll go out, but that wasn't what I wanted solely. So, and since then, he actually has reached out to me and told me that he's reading this book about trying to kind of dig more into what he's turned on by and why. And
has he been married before?
He has, yeah.
Yeah. How long?
That was quite a while ago.
You know how many years he was married, though?
I would say it was maybe like 10 years.
Well, the reason
Something
I'm
close.
asking is there's just some learning processes you just have to go through sometimes.
Right.
Like, there's books on relationships. There's books on how to understand women. Those are very large. The ones on understanding men are very small. But you just have to go through experiences sometimes to mature.
Right.
And being that young, relatively, you got to think that maybe he just hasn't got to that point yet. I don't know.
Well, I do want to say that since we broke up, I feel like we have both learned a ton from just being with each other and what we want, because I always thought that's what I wanted. I liked the hot wifing, but after I come to realize, that's not solely what I want to be with other people. It was a lot of learning. Now, even since I got into doing the OnlyFans and I did cam for a while, like a cam girl, like online, now I'm like, I don't really like people touching me. I want the personal space. I'm very adventurous still. I still enjoy wanting to be with other people, but not to the extent of what other people were maybe thinking.
Now, Taylor looks so innocent, and just like this little girl next door, but she's got a very curious mind and has done quite a bit.
I have, yes.
Yeah, sexually, adventurously. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, you've made a couple adult movies.
I have
What inspired you to jump into that world?
It was always something on my bucket list, honestly.
Yeah.
It came from a spicy conversation I was having with somebody, and they're like, wow, my little porn star. And I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to try that. And so since then, when I would talk to them, they were like, have you looked into it? Have you looked into it? So I did a quick Google search of agencies. I reached out to one, and within a week, they had me go get tested. And then a week from there, I was doing my first video.
That quickly.
Was this in California?
Yes, mainly LA.
LA. So you drove or flew out there?
I flew out there, yes. And I stayed in the model house. I actually did not enjoy that, which is why I got out of the porn industry. It just wasn't, I didn't like the model house. It was just bad vibes.
Wait, explain to us naive people what the model house is.
So they have a bunch of houses where a bunch of anybody that's in porn, you can go stay in this house if you don't want to get a hotel. It's run by the agency.
And it's all females or mixed?
Females, and there was one male staying there. No, actually between 1 and 2, because I was there for about 2 weeks. And then also the one agent that was in the apartment. But that's what I'm saying. So it was an apartment. It was carpet inside. They had a dog. There was between 5 and 7 of us sometimes in this tiny little apartment. There was suitcases everywhere. It was always messy and dirty. I would always try to clean up, and nobody else would be cleaning up. It was just really...
Was there drugs?
Some of the girls looked like they were on drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was there drama?
There was sometimes drama, yes. One of the girls, I should say, was seeing one of the guys that was there partially when he was there. But she would get jealous when other girls would be talking to him. And
that would all be so hard to deal with. So it really started to get to you?
It did. It just didn't feel like, it wasn't high class. It just felt very dirty. I was like, I don't like this.
How long were you there?
I was only in LA for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So you were how old when you did this? Like 22 or 3? How old were you?
Yeah. So this was back in 2020, 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, late 2020.
All right. How nervous were you on the first shoot?
I was a little nervous just because it was my first, but I was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, you just jumped right in.
I just jumped right in.
All right. So how many movies did you make?
It was about 5 or 6.
5 or 6?
Yeah.
So they're out there for you adventurous people who want to try to find them, I guess. I don't know. I'm assuming they're still out there.
They are still out there, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and then that's it. You left the industry and that was it.
That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that when you transitioned to OnlyFans, or is OnlyFans more recent?
OnlyFans is more recent. So when I was with the agency, they asked me to make an OnlyFans and a Twitter. But back then I wasn't really into social media. So I didn't really keep up with the OnlyFans. After I left, obviously all my subscribers that subscribed to nothing, they went away. I ended up deactivating the OnlyFans. But recently in this most recent relationship, because I was pretty much like a stay-at-home girlfriend, he said, why don't you do OnlyFans? So I was about to start that, or I had opened it back up. But then after we had split and I came back to Arizona, that's when I really started working on it.
So you split from him in New York.
Correct. Yes. We broke up there.
Okay.
And then I came back.
So now are you back on Seeking now?
Technically, yes. But because I've been so busy, I haven't really been keeping up with it. I did see somebody recently, that guy that was saying that we did the quick FaceTime call. He was the last guy I seen from Seeking.
So are you feeling like you prefer OnlyFans still because there's no physical contact with somebody else, or where are you at with that now?
So I do like the OnlyFans just because you get to pick who you want to be in your content.
So you are making some movies with other people.
I did do a movie recently with somebody, but he was giving me kind of weird vibes. And for me, if I'm going to be working with somebody, their character is a big thing for me. I don't want my name associated with somebody that has ill intentions or not a very good person. So I told him afterwards, I'm not comfortable releasing the footage at this point, but I will let you know if I change my mind at any point.
Did he show his face in it?
He did show his face.
Because like a lot of guys, they'll participate in a movie or a scene, but they're not going to show their face. And honestly, they don't have to. I mean, it's usually the girl doing a lot of the work and stuff.
Correct. But I found him on Reddit. I ended up posting on, it was a collabs page, and I made a post and it got a lot of attraction. So a bunch of people reached out. He said that he was in Arizona. I checked out his profile. He seemed great. You know, we did the video. He wasn't wanting to really send me all the footage, and that was kind of throwing me off.
He recorded on his
Most of the stuff was
camera or
recorded
whatever?
on his.
Why did you do that?
We could have always done it both ways, but we were using like his camera for the main footage, but then we would use my phone for like
So
for
you have
certain
different
views.
point of views.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Is that a red flag that he didn't send you the rest of the footage?
Yeah, you started getting nervous about it, didn't you?
I just thought it was a red flag. Aren't you sending me all the footage? It was just that he was wanting to keep certain things and not letting me design it how I wanted to. It was just his vibe, honestly. Even though if he wanted to publish more, it was just the fact that he wants to keep certain footage for himself.
So he's not intending to like release it publicly any places. There's no
Well,
risk
on
of
his
that.
profile, it said for people to message him if they want to see unreleased footage. So I don't know if that was his thing. Either way, I had told him I want the footage so that I can make the video how I want to. He can make his video how he wants. The fact that he would not send me everything, that was kind of...
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
So this sounds kind of like an informal, hey, let's do this. You guys didn't sign any paperwork or draw up anything? Or
No, so on OnlyFans, you do have to sign a release. Mm-hmm. But I chose not to sign any release until everything was done, completed. I'm happy with how everything went. So I'm happy I didn't sign anything prior.
Okay. Does he have an OnlyFans?
He does have an OnlyFans.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And that's the reason why I was wanting to collab with him. So it would be somebody that's been in the industry and has worked with the people. So
are you only doing collaborations or are you doing anything on your own?
I'm mainly doing it solo, but I am looking for other people in the industry to collab with, yes.
All right. Well, as I've told Taylor, just from, not that I have OnlyFans experience, but I've looked at a couple OnlyFans pages, but following Kimmy and then following Kimmy's roommate, Ariel, I've watched them go from nothing to literally millions of dollars a month in OnlyFans. And the way that they've done it, it's no secret. Well, they started out with agencies because they help them keep them on schedule, help them keep disciplined on what to do. Now, the agency takes about 30%, and then OnlyFans takes about 20%. So you're not getting, if you make $100,000 a month, you're not getting $100,000 a month. You're getting about 50, which is still a lot of money. But the agencies give you a script. They give you a list of everything you have to do that day. It's a job. Okay, correct. We need this number of photos and this type of pose and this many outfits. We need you to do 3 reels a day or videos a day that we're going to post on TikTok, Instagram, and then on those sites we're going to funnel people with links to your OnlyFans, where again you've got to produce this much content every single day. Now, a lot of times the agencies will answer the messages themselves. So you think you're talking to Taylor, which you actually are, because she's still actively involved. But if she had an agency involved with her, they would actually be the ones talking back to you. And the guys are just such dogs. They don't get it, right? They just like, oh my God, she's answering me back. It's not her. Some guy from India, in his mom's basement. So
my God.
That's kind of how it works. And from what I've watched and witnessed, and I love seeing how people make money and I pay attention, is they treat it like a job and they post every single day. Matter of fact, Ariel, who's one of the top OnlyFans in the country, who's now multiple $1 million homes, cars, and everything she ever wanted. I remember Kimmy telling me I loaned her $10 just so she could have lunch one day. And then here she is now making $1 million a month on OnlyFans. Even she posted today, I saw a video of her today, saying, hey, if you want to be she calls it a mattress actress, a bop, here's what you got to do. People think it's this, but it's this. You think it's this, but it's this. And she went through a whole list of everything that she does every day, how hard she has worked to get there. Now, is it worth it? One of the things she says, you will never be able to get, or it's going to be very difficult if you ever want to transition out of that industry to get a regular job.
I don't know if anybody would want to do that.
Yeah. But I mean, she's making so much money that no regular job is going to pay her that. So then another thing she pointed out is got to be aware of friends and family who don't always approve of what you do. And so you're going to get, that stigma and then you're going to get jealousy from other people when you make so much money. You try to trash your reputation and smear it. So there's the financial benefits of it. And then there's the downside of it. You've got to weigh what you want to do. Is it for everybody? Obviously not. But some people, the downside doesn't bother them. They don't really care about that. So you kind of got to make that decision.
Taylor, do you keep this from your family and friends?
Most of my friends do know about it. It's on my social media. But I haven't told anybody when I was going to open up an OnlyFans. It just kind of popped up. But I don't think my family knows that I have an OnlyFans. But I did tell my family years ago when I went to go do porn. Mm-hmm. I did. That was years ago.
How did they take that?
My dad was just like, oh, really? Yeah. And I told my brother, like, hey, you might want to stay off the internet.
Yeah, don't be watching your sister doing crazy stuff.
But that was the one thing that I was kind of nervous about or thinking about with the agency. I'm not sure if I want somebody always hounding me hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. I want you making these content. I want to do it more for my own pleasure. So hopefully I can find something that would be like a happy medium.
Now, there is some benefits of having an agency. Now, yes, they do take a big chunk of your earnings, but the more they make, the more you make.
Correct.
And so they push you because you're their rainmaker.
Right.
Right? You're generating the revenue, and they're going to push you and like, hey, you haven't sent us this today. We've got to post this, blah, blah, blah. So they're going to be on your ass, and it's going to be like a boss.
So it's really rigorous.
If you want to make the big money, you got to do the big things. You really do.
But I think that kind of goes into my last relationship where this person wanted me to be with other people kind of for their fulfillment. And I wanted to do it more for me. So that would be the only thing.
Yeah, when you're doing it on your own, you can make your own schedule, determine what you're doing, when you're doing it, without anyone holding that over you.
The beautiful thing about OnlyFans, what's always impressed me, is the power of it. Well, first of all, you're tapping into a thirsty dog from all over the world, but the power of the internet. Let's say you open up an ice cream shop here, like I opened up in Texas, or I had. You can only make so much money. There's only so many customers that can come through your door. But if I was able to sell ice cream around the world, well, that's a different story. I'm making exponential type of money, and that's where the real wealth comes. And that's why we hear so much about OnlyFans, like English teacher quit her job and now makes $50,000 a month on OnlyFans. It's like you could never really make $50,000 a month as a high school English teacher.
Right.
There's only so much you can do.
Yep.
The whole world is your customer.
But the power of the internet. And so some girls and guys choose that medium to tap into this world resource to make, their lives better, quote unquote. So it's powerful. You just got to weigh the negatives with the positives. I'm not against it.
I love it.
I'm a red-blooded American. I've watched plenty of porn.
I do want to say, since I started doing the cam online and the OnlyFans, this has been the happiest I've ever been. I absolutely love it. I feel so good. Yeah, I'm just really happy every day.
Well, it sounds like you found your niche in a way. You're good at it. You love it. Nobody's forcing you to do it. And so you're kind of doing seeking on the side as like a side gig?
Right. It would be a side thing. If I have the time, usually I'll log on maybe 10 minutes every couple days, check my messages, and then it'll show, hey, this person was recently active. So people message me, and if I get on, check my messages, and next time I'll reach back out. And
so you don't really initiate?
No, I don't.
Okay.
So here's a big tip, and we do talk about if you really want to be successful in seeking, you do need to initiate. But the other thing you need to do is to stay active. When I go message women or girls on there, I'm only looking at who's active. I push search, and then in my little toggle, you can do like nearest, you can do newest. Sometimes I do newest just to see who's new. 95% of the time, it's most recently active. And that's the people, and I'll go through, and then that's the ones that I'm messaging because I know they're on or they've been on in the last few minutes. And so if you keep your profile active, it's always going to show up on the first few pages. If you only log on or only go on there every few days, you're going to get less interaction and less opportunity. But we've always said, I don't care how hot you are and how many messages inbox that you get, you need to reach out to a few of these guys to get the whales. You need to just say, hey, how are you? To something that maybe your money radar says, hey, this guy's a little bit different. I think he's a little bit higher value man than other people. A diamond member. Now, I don't advocate too much of signing up as a diamond member. It's 3 times the cost, and they guarantee, or they say that you're going to get 20 times more messages, and maybe you do. It might be worth it to some. I get plenty of messages. But if I was a girl, I'm reaching out to the diamond guys. They're the ones that are paying 3 times the monthly fee. They're paying like 3. I think I'll have to double check. I don't know. It keeps going up. Probably like around $300 a month to be on there, where I'm paying $130 a month. And
I did get that advice before. This guy actually sent me about like $2,000, and I hadn't even met him.
Wait. What?
Yeah, so I was on Seeking, and this guy had reached out to me, and he said, hey, I would just like to send you something just to make sure that I'm real, and this is what I want. And I gave him my real number. So we were texting, and I thought that he was going to be sending it over Apple Pay for some reason. And apparently he plugged my number into Zelle and sent it to me. So when he said that he sent it, I was like, I don't see it. So then he sent me another $1,000. And so he's like, I sent it to Zelle. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay.
So he sent you $2,000?
He sent me $2,000.
Where was he from?
Scottsdale.
Okay, so he was local.
Yes.
And did you meet him?
No, we never met up.
Why?
Because we were chatting back and forth, but either he was busy, I was busy. I don't know, he did.
Are you going to meet him?
This was actually a long time ago. I'm sure I can always reach out to him.
So he never pursued it. He never.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
But yeah, I guess he used to play in the NFL. So
Really?
Yeah.
Was he this real muscly guy?
he was very muscly. He sent out a Valentine's Day dick pic.
Oh, God.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
You know what? We're going to have to talk after the show because Kimmy met this guy. Sounds like the same. Was he into, does he own a huge nutrition company now?
I'm not sure.
Or
I
do you
know
know?
what his pool looks like. He sent me a picture of his pool.
Interesting. Okay. Well, there's a certain gentleman that's fitting your profile description. It could be different, but we'll have to talk after. That's so interesting. So I'm going to Austin this week, and I just wanted to see what that seeking activity looked like in Austin, right? And Taylor's in my office where she's working. Actually, she's helping me edit the podcast now, which is really nice, and helping me with a lot of the real estate stuff. So we sit across from each other, and I'm telling her about these girls that I'm seeing on Seeking, and there was this like super fit 31-year-old, and
Really hot.
I showed you pictures, and she had a University of Texas jersey on, so I know she wasn't a fake profile because she had some local stuff on there. And I showed Taylor, she goes, yeah, that girl looks real. Her pictures look real. So I messaged her, and by God, she messaged me back. I told, right when I told you, oh my God, I got a message from her. I was like, never in a million years is she going to swipe right on me on Bumble or Tinder or even message me. But here, this super hot girl messaged me.
But I had told Marcus, after you've been on Seeking for quite a while, usually you don't want to go back to Bumble or Tinder, anything.
Exactly.
Because
I agree.
this is what you're used to. It's like,
Yes.
what are these guys going to offer me?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I give her my phone number, my Google Voice number, of course. She messages me, and it's not a Texas number. It's from the East Coast. So I'm like, I'd rather have seen, it would have made me feel more comfortable if it was a Texas number. But if she was a student or she'd moved there, then, these days people carry their numbers for life, right? So they don't change area codes. So I look it up. I stick it into White Pages, and it comes up a name, and it's a 61-year-old male. But I told Taylor, I said, hey, a lot of times people stay on their parents' plan, or they stay under, a family number or family plan, right? So sure enough, down at the bottom, it had her name and it said she was in her 30s. I look at her profile. It's her name. She's in her 30s. I plugged that name into Google. Bam, found her. Got her Instagram, everything. Wow. I know so much about her already, and we haven't even met. Right, Taylor?
Yeah.
I was like, that's how quick I could probably find her address. And Taylor's like, you're just stalking her at this point. And I'm like, yeah, but that's how easy it is when you use your phone number.
Yeah.
And I told her, here's another trick too. A lot of times, if they're under their parents' plan or something like that, it'll show relatives. And even if I don't see her under as a relative, I can find those relatives on Facebook, see their friends, and I've been able to find them that way. Now, am I being a stalker or am I being a safe dater? I mean, there's a fine line right there, but I feel like I'm being a safe dater.
Yeah.
I want to know as much as I can about the person that I'm meeting. Sorry.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
And people need to understand that if their information is public, they are public. Anyone has the right to find it, to use it. It's just how it is. And that with these two guys in California that I was dealing with, same thing. They used their real numbers, and I wanted to feel safe. And so as soon as I plugged it in, I knew from the one guy, I knew where his adult daughter lived. I knew his businesses, everything.
Which isn't always bad, because if you're going to be a great person to date, you're going to be honest, and you're not going to be lying and hiding things. So, which isn't always bad for them to find out anything that.
Right.
It's funny because Taylor was editing your interview last week, and there was a part where you talked about, well, I'm just finding guys that want me to come over to their house while their wife is gone. And she's had a few of those experiences, haven't you?
I did have somebody ask me if I can come over. We didn't agree on the allowance, so either way, I told him I'm not sure if that's what I want to do for the first date.
Well, for me, I was so
date,
worried. I thought, what if the wife comes home sick?
Right.
What if the neighbors have cameras and they see me coming and going? These days, there's cameras everywhere. Every neighbor knows everything. I just could not. No, I did not need a jealous wife like coming in. Or what if I went to his house and left, and then he said I stole something?
Yeah, that's happened to me.
Has it?
Oh yeah, I've had girls come over and things have been missing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Marcus, don't say anything. But I have kind of told him this story. Somebody from the site or from the podcast invited to hang out with them and see who they were seeing. Apparently, she got super jealous, went over to his house. I come out and a plate on my back door is missing. And that guy asked me, like, hey, have you ever seen that before? And I was like, no. So the next couple of times I went over to his house, he had me park in his garage, and I kind of knew at that point.
So there was a jealous.
There can be some jealousy.
Yeah.
So I had this, when we were talking about that, it reminded me of the situation when I let my dick do the talking and lead me to places that I would have never gone sober. I was first on the site. This is like 2016, 17. And this girl invited me over to her apartment. She said her husband was in the hospital and that he was going to be there for a while and I could just come over there and see her. I don't know why I agreed to this. I absolutely don't know why. So I traipsed my little ass through the west side of Phoenix, which if you go really far west, it gets nicer. But the west part that I'm talking about was not nice. And I'm walking through this apartment complex going, I just entered the hood. Like, I am not safe here. I traipse my little ass up these stairs, knock on the door. She opens, we go in there. We have a little bit of chit chat. We get down to the deed. And she gets a phone call and she goes, oh, my husband's being released from the hospital. I'm like, get me the fuck out of here. I don't need this. What am I doing? Yeah. So, men, don't be stupid. Be safe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I encountered that in my first few days on Seeking before I'm kind of trying to feel it out, find my way, see what's out there. And, yeah, I averted a disaster there, but I certainly put myself in a situation that I shouldn't have been in just because I was a little bit of a horn dog. I was fairly newly divorced and it's a whole new world for me. I'm just like, oh my God, this is amazing.
And that's where you just need to start trusting your intuition when you start getting these weird vibes from people. That's usually where I'm like, I don't want to pursue this. This is not a situation I want to put myself in. So at that point, I just move on to the next person.
What is it that you're looking for now at this point?
Honestly, nothing. I just want a sugar daddy, somebody that I can have fun with. Because
so you want like a consistent connection with somebody and like an allowance?
Right. I mean, even if they're not too consistent. I mean, I do want some sort of consistency. So I had told Marcus recently about this guy that flew into Arizona to come see me. But we were chatting and I realized because he never wanted me to get off the phone with him. Like he would keep me on the phone forever and forever. And I just realized I get so much more work done when I'm not talking to somebody. So I'm like, I'm good. I don't want a relationship. I'm happy on my own. They're taking up too much of my time anyways. I can have fun as I please. So,
And you have a lot of other interests, it sounds like.
correct.
Your work, your hobbies, OnlyFans.
I love staying busy. So
All right. Well, I get a lot of listeners who are very curious now about Little Miss Taylor. So what's your link? How do they find you?
my Instagram is Bad Girl Taylor XX, and my OnlyFans is XO Taylor World.
You're a little bit more active now, right? On social
Oh yes,
media?
I am more active.
Yeah. I'm telling you guys, she's absolutely gorgeous, petite. What are you, 5 foot nothing?
5 foot, yes.
5 foot. Do you even weigh 100 pounds?
Nope, I'm about 95.
And I love your boots. Those
Yeah.
are
Thank
so
you.
cool.
And also, men, if you want to come to Sugar Palooza 7, Taylor will be there. All right, you'll get to meet her in person, as with Nikki too.
Yep.
You've got both ends of the range here. Yeah, you got the fiery redhead and the petite little brunette, and we got everything in between. I just sent out invitations to a lot of people. They're starting to respond. I just heard from Victoria, who's been on the show a few times and been to a few of the Sugar Paloozas. She was this close to being a Miami Dolphins cheerleader. She made camp and everything. I don't know what happened, but she's just said, I want to come. And we said, you're in. We just sent her invitation and she's coming. She is probably one of the highlights of the party. You definitely want to meet her if you haven't met her. She has this party trick where she's so flexible that she's tall, like 5'11", right? And she can put her one foot on the floor and the other foot on the ceiling.
I think I've seen.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and she takes over the party bus with her dance moves. It is so fun. So she's one of many, many really enjoyable characters that are going to be at Sugar Palooza 7. So she's missed the last couple, so we're glad to have her back. Just the life of the party, along with I've got a lot of new people coming. So men, if you want to sponsor, I think I've got like 2 or 3 spots left. We filled up really quickly with the men's side, and don't worry, men, there's going to be plenty of women there. I've got 50 tickets, so contact me at info@secretsofasugardaddy.com if you want more information on that, or through Instagram or through Patreon. Lots of great ways to contact us. All right, Nikki, anything else before we head out of here? You excited about the coming party?
I was just going to say, I was so excited to get my information that I was coming.
Yeah, got you in the system.
I'm very excited, and it's coming up fast.
It is.
I'm anxious to see the concert because those are my people.
Yeah, I know, right? Brian Adams and Pat Benatar. I'm telling you, the energy that's going to be at the concert, even if you don't know their songs, the energy and the party and the private suite is going to be just so fun. Taylor?
I'm very excited.
Thanks for coming. We're gonna hear more from you. Since Taylor works for me, I pay her to be here. So I'm dragging you in a few more times as we get updates through, all your shenanigans.
But now I feel like I was more talkative this time.
Yeah. No, it's funny because as you've become more comfortable, you've done this now for a few times. Even Nikki's feeling a lot more comfortable now. I can tell. And that's the same thing that happened with Lily. I drug her in. She was a little nervous the first time. And then before I know it, she took over the show.
If you're around Marcus at all, he is going to drag you on.
Yeah, like it or not. Oh, God, Amy, too. I drag Amy in every now and then. And she's like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I'm like, Amy, you're working for me right now. So you're going to work for the next hour on the podcast.
But this was really fun. I enjoyed it.
It's fun, right?
Yes, I really enjoyed it.
Okay, if you guys want to share your crazy sugar dating stories, we'd love to hear those at secretsofasugardaddy.com. You can message us there. And like I said, Instagram is a great way. I get those instantly. And join our family. We'd love to have you as a supporter of the show. It really helps out because it ain't free, people. Even though I give it to you free, There is a big cost involved. So we would appreciate your support at patreon.com/secrets of a sugar daddy podcast. All right, Nikki, we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Okay.
Take care.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.